What it do, YouTube? Welcome into Miami Dolphins Look Back Draft 2010. Y'all know how I roll. I'm not really big on college players. All I can sit back and tell you is my actual opinion of seeing them at the NFL level. And we're going to start off with 2010 all the way up into 2016. But kicking it off, 28th overall in the 2010 draft, the Miami Dolphins decided to pick Jared Odrick. We all know who Jared Odrick is. At Penn State, he played at 4-3 defensive tackle, which I don't understand at the time of 2010. Well, going into the 2011 season, the Miami Dolphins, they were running a 3-4 defense. Mike Nolan was the defensive coordinator, I remember. And Randy Starks, Paul Soliai, and we have Philip Merling, who could never stay healthy. He kept on tearing the same goddamn ACL. Same ACL. So we bring in Jared Odrick, who's a 4-3 defensive tackle. And the way I sit back and look at Jared Odrick, as far as him being on the Miami Dolphins, he's just been consistently misused. Like he's a defensive tackle. He's not a defensive end. He's not meant to rush the passer. He is a defensive tackle. So, like 2017, we needed a defensive tackle, and I've been meaning to put out a video about the whole defensive tackle situation. They wanted to get Dontari Poe for a cheap price, Jonathan Hankins. Honestly, when it comes down to it, we just need a reliable defensive tackle behind Jordan Phillips, because I believe Jordan Phillips is a good quality starter as far as a defensive tackle for the Miami Dolphins, playing alongside Ndamukong Suh. You don't need to go out and spend big money on no damn defensive tackle when you're only getting 20 to 30 snaps. You bring back Jared Odrick. You can bring back Jared Odrick for cheap, and he can take off some of that load off of Jordan Phillips and Ndamukong Suh's shoulders as far as them having their snaps. Just 20 or 30 snaps. That's all he needs. 20 or 30 snaps to get the job done. Give Ndamukong Suh and Jordan Phillips some Gatorade, and they be good to go. But in 2016, Jared Odrick had 12 tackles, 1 sack, and 1 forced fumble. Now, him playing with the Jacksonville Jaguars last year, they had him playing at defensive end. Like I said, he's just been extremely underused in his career. Keep him at defensive tackle. Miami Dolphins should really take a look at that, bringing him back at defensive tackle, because honestly, he's a great defensive tackle. When he's at defensive tackle, he plays great. Honestly, when I see him on tape, he plays great as a defensive tackle. So that's my opinion on a defensive tackle situation. You get this all in one video. But the second round, 40th overall, the Miami Dolphins took Koa Misi. Now, Koa Misi, this is another misused player from this draft. I don't understand how Koa Misi was a 4-3 defensive end coming out of Utah, and then we end up drafting him to play outside linebacker in a 3-4 defense. Now, I'm not complaining about his game in 2010. He played great in 2010. I'm not gonna complain about that. But as far as him over the next course of the years of him being in the league, him coming all the way up to 2016, we already know he cannot stay healthy, period. He's been playing outside 4-3 linebacker after we converted over to a 4-3. Then he moved into inside linebacker and then back to the outside. Like, when it comes down to it, he's terrible in coverage. I've seen it myself. He's terrible in coverage. He's great in stopping the run. Excellent linebacker at stopping the run. And a couple of people comment on my video a couple of videos ago about me saying that Koa Misi was possibly top 5 left outside linebacker in the league. Okay, maybe I over-exaggerated a little bit, but I will put him in the top 10. I will put him. Actually, you know what? I take that back too, because you can't really sit back and say something about somebody that has not been able to stay healthy. So I'm gonna be quiet about that. But when it comes down to it, he was misused in the Miami Dolphins defense, period. Right now, he's sitting at left outside linebacker. Again, you get all 2-1 right here. He basically took a pay cut to stay with the Dolphins. Put him back at defensive end for depth. Put him back at defensive end for depth. Or you could bring in another left outside linebacker. But honestly, Koa Misi, he's meant to rush the passer. That's what he's meant to do. Let him do it. He's a great run defender too as well. And we have issues with our defensive ends being able to stop the run. So Koa Misi, I think he would be an excellent role player piece for the Miami Dolphins defense on that front four. Now, next up in the third round, we had John Jerry, 73rd overall. Now, I didn't have any issues with John Jerry when he was here, other than I know they was talking about him having overweight issues. He didn't fit the scheme well, but he had nothing but potential, honestly. He just had to put it all together. Obviously, it did not work out with the Miami Dolphins because we ended up cutting him in 2013. But as far as the guard play since John Jerry has been gone, since Richie Incognito has been gone, I have not been satisfied, other than Laramie Tunsil, which is the past season, 2016. But I have not been satisfied. But since John Jerry and Richie Incognito, our guards have been some straight up ass. So, John Jerry, I had no issues with John Jerry. I would love him on the team right now. I would love him to be on the team right now. AJ Edds, fourth round, 119th overall. Practice squad player. I couldn't even find no information about him. He played with us, the Pats, and the Colts. So not very much information on him. I've never seen him hit the field ever, other than on special teams. But other than that, AJ Edds, not really a flashy player as far as anything that I would want to talk about. Next up, we have Nolan Carroll. One of my favorites, honestly. One of my favorites. Fifth round, 145th overall out of Maryland. I honestly thought he had some great talent. Like, me personally, I like a great man-to-man physical corner. And that's what you got out of Nolan Carroll. He got his opportunity. Demetri Patterson, I could not stand that dude. That dude was terrible. RJ Stanford, I hated that dude too. He could not, oh my gosh. But like Nolan Carroll, he had the opportunity to be a starter for the Miami Dolphins. Don't forget, like, we got rid of Sean Smith and Vontae Davis. Hurts my heart every time I sit back and talk about it. Thank you, Joe Philbin and Jeff Ireland. Couldn't stand them fools. But yeah, we had good quality corners in Sean Smith and Vontae Davis, and we ended up letting them walk. Sean Smith ended up walking in free agency, and we ended up trading Vontae Davis to the Indianapolis Colts for a couple of picks. I believe it was a 3rd round and a 5th round, something like that. But Nolan Carroll had the opportunity to be a starter, ended up walking in free agency. I believe that was 2013. So Nolan Carroll, he's now in the Miami Dolphins uniform. Now, the ultimate steal of the 2010 draft for the Miami Dolphins, we have Rashad Jones out of Georgia, 5th round, 163rd overall. I'm not even gonna give you my opinion on Rashad Jones. The stats speak for itself. Now, 2012, 94 tackles, 4 interceptions. 2013, 107 tackles, 1 interception. 2014, let me remind you, he played 12 games because he was suspended. 80 tackles, 4 picks. 2015, this the God year right here. This the God year. And then there's controversy in the God year that he might have been playing with a torn rotator cuff since this season. But 135 tackles, 5 interceptions, 2 sacks. And of course, this past season, 2016, only played six games, had 51 tackles and 1 interception. But him playing in them 6 games, that's only half the season. You give him another 6 games, he's about over 100 tackles. He's literally over 120 tackles at the end of the season. Over 120 tackles. And I don't understand why he doesn't get the recognition that he deserves from people, because there's always some asshole that always sits back and says he's not the best safety in the league. I'm always getting that comment, and I'm pretty sure it's gonna be Eric Berry that's gonna be in the comment this time. But again, the numbers speak for itself. Man has, in these past 5 seasons, he hasn't had under 80 tackles. Just saying, think about that. And of course, in the 7th round, 252nd overall, Austin Splittler, 7th round, 252nd overall. Special team player, not really big, but I like him as a special teams player. I can't really say much about him. Like, it was extremely hard to find a picture on him too, so he's not really that big of a player. But that's 5. Those are 5 players right there. I want to hear you guys' opinion on this draft class. I really do. But tomorrow, which is Saturday, that would be the 25th, I'm going to be doing some streaming. I want to hear you guys' opinion as far as my streamers, because I know a lot of people that come around for the streams. What would y'all prefer? I picked up the Mass Effect Armada. Would y'all want to see that? You want to continue on with the Ghost Recon, or you want to go back to playing some Madden? So let me know what you guys think about that as well. You know what it is. If you enjoyed the content, please don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button. This is Great One DeVore. I'm up out of here.